I'm going to take a look at the Leatherman MUT. That's the military utility tool, the new tool from Leatherman that's coming out in September. And we had a chance to sort of get a sneak preview of it here, hands-on, and it's definitely a cool new tool. So let's take a look at it. First off, it comes with this pretty nice sheath. We'll take a look at that in depth. Taking a look at it from the outside, you can see that it's got some definite style to it. I think it looks a lot like Terminator or something is what comes to mind. A lot of skeletonized parts. Just really cool looking in my opinion. I think a lot of this doesn't have to do with so much cool looking, but just trying to reduce weight. And even though you can see blades through here, you can't really get to them. You're not going to hurt yourself. That saw blade there, you're not going to reach in and cut yourself. This is from something else completely. Trust me, it wasn't from this. Actually, this one seems like it's gone around through some different reviewers, so some of the replaceable blades and things are getting kind of dull on it. But overall, I'm not going to try to do a review on the quality of it, because I think we all know that Leatherman makes quality stuff. This is made in USA, so we're talking top quality components here. Good attention to detail, and just, you know, very well made. You don't see any slop or any play in any of the tools. So again, we know that there's good quality here. I just want to show you some of the features and some of the things that make me so impressed with this thing. So I guess starting from the outside, first off, everything's sort of rounded, smooth. You know, there's nothing sharp here, even though there's a lot of potential for sharp edges. There's really not. It's actually quite comfortable, since this is going to be the grip for most of the tools that we use. You know, that's saying a lot. It's comfortable to hold on to. It's definitely sizable. I wish I had another one here to compare to, but here's an older Wave, so you can see that it's definitely quite a bit larger. If we hold the hinges up here together, you can see that most of the blades end here, but because of some of the other tools here, it goes a little longer. It's also a bit wider. I wish I had my Surge here to compare it to. I can't find it though. So anyway, it's good size. I have a decent size hand, and it fills the hand. It's not lightweight necessarily, but it's not super heavy. We'll pull it over to the scale here, and let's get it out of kilograms. It's 10.9 ounces, so that's not too bad. Definitely hefty. I guess just for comparison, this older Wave is about 7.8 ounces. So again, it's a little heavier, but it's not too bad. Taking a look at some of the features then. We've got the one-hand opening blade, easy to get to for a right hand. It uses a liner lock here. Pretty simple to just push in the lock. Use your finger here to get the blade moving. Move your other finger out of the way. It doesn't close so quickly or anything. It's actually sort of set tight enough, at least now, to you know, not swing closed on you. And you could probably tighten that right there. On the other side, for a right-handed person, we've got this punch, and we'll talk about that more in a moment, but that's the two sort of right-handed tools. As far as the other two, they're not as easy to open up, but it's definitely possible, and that's the bronze AR tool, and again, we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the saw, which, you know, I wouldn't recommend opening that way, so I'd probably try to open it up this way. And again, nice aggressive teeth on this one, like you'd expect from a Leatherman. This is going to make short work of pretty much anything. Not that you need a saw too often doing firearm stuff, but this is also designed to be a multi-tool, so definitely a nice addition having the saw there. Let's get back to this blade, or this tool, and that's the punch. So as it is, you can use it as a punch, drive your pins on an AR. It's definitely designed for an AR, but also useful for other things. Again, run your punches. It's a punch that'll work with your Glock, with your other pistols, and a lot of other rifles. Now the punch, you just unscrew it. It is removable, and what they tell you in the videos is that now if you have a stubborn pin, you can use the hammer portion here that we're about to talk about, and use the punch as an actual punch with the hammer. It also, once you've opened it up here, if you needed to attach something from like an Otis cleaning kit, you've got the correct thread pattern there. So now you can thread right into an Otis kit, or your military style cleaning kits, with the use of one of these adapters that's, you know, depending on the kit, it's usually supplied with the kit, and then that brings you to the military rods. This allows you to use, again, this comfortable handle as a rod, or if you have something that's real stubborn, you can use it at the right angle there and get some torque on it. So that's pretty handy that it works with the cleaning kits. So let's put that punch back on. Of course it's replaceable, so if you do bend the punch you can get a replacement. So that's the punch, and then we've got the bronze scraper. So bronze meaning a material softer than the metal that you're going to have on your bolt, on your AR. Again, this is designed for the AR, but potentially other rifles as well. You might get some carbon buildup, and this is again softer than the metal that's going to be that they make your bolts out of, and the firing pins and other parts. And this is designed to be softer yet heat treated so that it should retain its edge so that it's useful for us. And that's again for scraping the carbon buildup on the bolt. And then to complete the outside tools, we have a replaceable belt clip, and it's pretty sturdy, and you could probably run a lanyard through it if you needed a lanyard attachment. You've got this sort of carabiner clip for quick attachment to get it on a carabiner, on a loop, or perhaps to lots of uses to quickly temporarily hold on to it somewhere. Then you've got a webbing cutter here. The screwdriver tip here we'll get to, but that sort of blocks the webbing cutter. You could use this as a to cut 550 cord, to cut flex cups, again to open up clothing for first aid. And that's a replaceable cutter, so right now it's pretty much dull. Again, this has been used by a lot of reviewers so far, but again, just take the Torx out of here and replace the blade very easily. Then on the end you've got a hammer, which is also replaceable, so if it gets broken, it's also your bolt override tool. And again, you can use that as a hammer. It's part of the frame of the tool, so it's very secure. And again, you got a bolt override, which is a problem you can have on an AR style M16, where the round gets stuck up between the bolt carrier and the charging handle and everything, and this allows you to pull pressure off of from the bolt, which allows the round to fall through. So take a look at the Leatherman video to see the actual clearing steps, but that's what this tool is, again designed for the AR. So coming down around, we're looking at the plier sides here, and again we have the hammer and the cutter and the clip on this side. On this side we have a bit driver, and we've got sort of a lock here which will allow you to pull out the bit, and you've got your standard size or your short bit, and then there's a place to stow the bit here, so we can stow it out of the way for the moment. This is sort of a plastic insert that holds it under just a bit of tension. And then you've got one bit here that you can kind of see. We'll see in a minute when it pulls out. And then another one that's a little tougher to see. But you've got this sort of plunger that can go back and forth. And once it's like all the way to one side, like it is now, that's going to give it clearance to allow this tool to slide out of its sort of confinement there. So on this side you've got a Phillips and a straight edge, and fairly useful, a little more aggressive than the shorter one there. And now if we push that pin up, that's all the way, that's going to allow this one to come through. And this one is a hex and a Torx, and it's basically the most common, it's the size for most of the common scope mounts and things like that. So again, designed for the quick and easy maintenance of an AR style rifle or other firearms. You'll notice there's some areas here that are actually part of the pliers. When it's folded, you can see the side there comes through, and again that is to attach it to a military style cleaning setup. And now again, it can be a comfortable handle. If you try to use these folding style handles, they can be a little frustrating, let's say. This one makes it a little easier to deal with. Also works again with the Otis, so again, if you're needed to clean out something or put your AR brush to clean out something, you could do it. Taking a closer look at those pliers, it's a real decent set of needle nose. For us out here in the desert, I'm always interested in ones that will be able to pull out cactus thorns, and these can definitely do that. You can see the super tight tolerances there as I squeeze on it. Then you've got basic, pliers for real, work, pulling out nuts and bolts and things. Then you've got a hardened cutter and a regular cutter here, and super strong. Then we've also got a bit of a cutter down here at the pivot point for larger gauge wire, I suppose. Lots of useful tools. Again, I can see where they came, every little part of the tool is designed to be useful for you. They've definitely put a lot of thought into it. The materials are top-notch, the workmanship is top-notch. Really impressed by it. And although it's designed for the AR, definitely not exclusively. There's a lot of tools here you could use. Let's dig into the sheath real quick. It's definitely worth noting. It's a neat component. First off, it's a sheath, so if you decide you're going to use this some other way, using the clip or whatever, then this is, could easily be a magazine pouch, or for a cell phone even. So anyway, the main pouch here is got a little bit of elastic, not super tight, but enough that you can put the tool in, and it's not coming out. I mean, I can shake pretty hard and get it to come out, but for the most part, it's staying in there. You definitely have a large piece of Velcro here to retain it. On the back, it does have molle with 4 rows, 1 column, so you could weave that in on a pouch, pack, or on a vest or something. And then it's got a sort of a wrench here with 1/2 and 3/8, and that is designed to fit down that back, and that'll obviously lock it into place. It also keeps this nice and secure behind the tool, so pretty handy. But let me use that as an illustration here. When we go back inside of the pouch, there's actually a couple of more places where you can stow things, and that's just in front of the tool itself. Here's another pretty long place for bits or some sort of tool, and then another one here, so there are 2 areas there. Now potentially, because this elastic is pretty strong, you could probably put something there, perhaps a flashlight or a pen or something, but no bottom support, so something with a clip on it perhaps. Like I say, a Sharpie would probably fit in there real easily. Guess I have one right here. And well, maybe not perfect, but maybe a short Sharpie. Anyhow, a lot of potential for the sheath, definitely well made. Since the whole tool is made in the USA, I can't tell for sure, but I'm assuming that perhaps this is made in the USA too. So great tool. Really interested, really happy to be able to take a look at it. That's thanks to Charles over at Liberty Watch Radio. And again, it's coming out in September. I think the price point's going to be about $150, but I'm not sure about that. That's just internet rumor at this point. But Leatherman MUT, first look, and big thumbs up for now.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.